Okay, this video is a short overview of using VI. It takes a bit of practice, but this will demonstrate some of the uses of it, and unfortunately, because VI is a keystroke editor, you won't be able to see some of the things I'm doing, but I'll talk through them, and I'll give you other resources in the description of the video so you can try it yourself. It's the only way to learn. So VI is a useful editor for anybody who uses a Unix box. It's installed on every Unix box out there. There are a lot of other editors that are useful for large projects. There are IDEs that you may want to use for certain things, but it's a very useful skill to know how to use VI or Vim. So that's what this video is about. If you don't want to learn about VI, well, you don't need to watch the video. So VI is very old. It's one of the first editors from the early days of Unix. So and as with any open source software, it evolved. So the latest version that's used on most systems is VI improved, and it's the most popular. There are other versions of VI, free to use what you want. They all have the same basic command structure. And again, as I mentioned, it's a keystroke editor, so it's not what you're used to. It's not a Windows point and click. So, but again, it's very, very useful. So let's look at launching VI. So when we launch VI, there's a couple of options we can use, but in general, we just use it the way we would use any other. So as you can see here, I have a terminal session on a remote Unix server, Linux server. And as it says in the slide, usually there's an alias set for Vim, to VI for Vim. So I always call it VI, I just always have, but when I'm referring to VI, I'm really referring to Vim. So to use VI, we just give it a file name. So this file doesn't exist, so when I open it, what I see is a series of tildes and the name of the new file. And then it says I'm at the cursor's at line, column 0, line 0. So now I have a blank file, and I am in command mode. So VI is a modal-based editor. So when you open it, you're in command mode. That's just the default. So if I want to type into it or search in it, then I have to use the commands that command mode will recognize. So to type into it, I will want to use insert. So I for insert. Again, this is a keystroke editor. You can't see it, but I'm typing I. Lowercase I, and it switches me into insert mode. So now that I'm in insert mode, whatever I type will not be interpreted as a command, it will be text. So I was able to type in. Now when I want to save it, I can't save from insert mode. So what I have to do is I have to get back into command mode. So I hit escape a couple of times, and I'm back in command mode, and notice it tells me where I am. It's line 1, column 44, or character 44. So now that I'm in command mode, anything I type will be interpreted as a command. So if I type the quick brown, it started to my typing, which I was trying to type into my file, is interpreted in command mode. So I'm recording, and then I get oog over there. So I don't know what happened. So if I want to, now sometimes you're going to get stuck this way. You're going to be in command mode, you're going to type without realizing it, and you're just going to get stuck. So what you want to do is you want to quit without saving. So I hit escape a couple of times, and that'll get me back into command mode. So I hit escape, and now I want to get out of here, and I want to quit this file. So I type Q to get me in last line mode. So now we've done all the modes. We've typed in, we started in command mode, we went back to command mode, and now we're last line mode. So this colon says I'm in last line mode, and I want to quit. So I type Q. But because I have unsaved changes, it's going to go, bleh, what are you doing? You have unsaved changes. So I have unsaved changes, but I don't know what happened. So I want to discard them. So what I need to do is I'm in command mode, I go into last line mode, I type Q, and then bang. So the exclamation point says, just quit, force quit, don't save anything. So that's what I get. So now that I've quit my file. So let's try that again. I didn't save it, so there's nothing in it. I'm in command mode. I want to go into insert mode. I type I for insert. So now I have a line in there and I want to save it. So again, I'm in insert mode, which will, anything I type will be interpreted. So I want to get back into command mode, so I hit escape. Now there's a couple of ways I can save it. The easiest one is last line mode, so I go from command mode to last line mode, write, and quit. So it does both of them. If I just write, it'll continue editing. So if I just write like that, it'll continue editing if I hit enter here. Otherwise, I have to quit and then I hit enter. So with last line mode, you have to hit enter. With command mode, it just interprets whatever you type. So let's look at practice. And there we go. I have my data in there. So we just looked at a couple of things. We escaped without saving, so the colon Q bang. So I make sure the escape gets me into command mode, and then I go into last line mode, colon Q, and the bang says, okay, discard everything. And then if I want to save and then exit, I can use escape to get into command mode, colon Q write, or write quit the other way, or colon X. Or I can just go straight from command mode where you wouldn't see anything, where I type shift, hold shift down and hit ZZ, and that'll save my file and exit. So we just did those. So what we were doing is we were using the different modes. Again, when we open our file, we started in command mode here. So VI starts in command mode, and then if you want to do something, you type in the command associated with it. Or what you do is you change the mode to insert mode. So I can change the mode to insert input mode, by hitting insert, append, open, replace, or change. And there's a few others. So I, A, O, R, and C, and uppercase means something different to lowercase. I'm using all lowercase. So when from command mode, I type I to get into input mode. I type my text. When I'm finished, I hit escape. That brings me back to command mode. And then I can, from command mode, type in a colon and write and quit. So I used all three modes. So let's look at a few more things. So this is just an overview of the last line mode, some multi-character commands. So I go from command mode to last line mode by typing a colon. So I have to be in command mode. Then I type colon, and then I can type whatever else I need for my last line mode. So quit, quit and discard, write and quit. So these are the same thing. And then I can write the file. So I can just save it to disk and then go back to it. And here I can write it to a different file name. So these are some things I can do. Just an overview of the modes. Remember, when you open a new file, you always start in command mode, and then depending on what you do, you type the command that will do what it is you're intending to do. So that might be locate, that might be a change, that might be insert, so to get to input mode. So you type that, or you type a colon to switch to last line mode. So when you're in insert mode, anything you type will be input as text into your file, and then you need to hit escape to return to command mode. And then from command mode, you can also go into last line mode, and last line mode is just a series of extra commands, but they start with a colon, and you can see them. So the nice thing about last line mode is I can see what's happening, whereas with command mode, it's just keystrokes. So this is a very useful editor. You will become it'll become very useful to you if you get used to it. You just have to get used to it. So hopefully this will help you to get used to it. And maybe some of the exercises that I put in the video description. Thank you. Enjoy.